Hi, today I'm talking about Exodus Part 2. This is the finale for Season 1. Uh, Again, it's following the same type of format they did in Part 1, where you get like just little flashback vignettes for a couple characters. You get Michael, who I gotta mention, I didn't. I forgot that we had a separate Michael flashback in this part one. So really, in part one, that was a Walt flashback. This is the Michael flashback. You get Michael, Hurley, Jin, Charlie, and Locke. They all get flashbacks. I wanted to get that. I want to get that bit out ahead of time before I forget anybody. And speaking of forgetting anybody, I didn't mention it, uh, but in Exodus Part 1, we get the introduction to Ana Lucia, played by Michelle Rodriguez, who we all know will become a part of Season 2. So that was a nice little setup there. It's clear that they're setting up things for Season 2. Uh, I mean, obviously, just with how this ends, but also you get stuff like Rousseau having the scratches on her arm. We find out that was Claire that did that. So it's and the Charlie finding the heroin from the plane. Just obviously the big stuff like you know Michael's story and the hatch, like that is obviously set up for how we go into season two. But then there's also smaller stuff as well. And the flashbacks are nice. Again, it's just what was going on with these people before the plane. Uh, Again, with Locke, it's how miserable can we make Locke? How horrible can we make them? He's just miserable and depressed and sad the whole time. Even a short little flashback. I think he gets like honestly, he's just like he's never happy in his flashbacks. I mean, in the Deus Ex Machina, he's like moderately happy before his parents show up and find him. He's going to be moderately happy in future flashbacks where he's with Helen, but we know that relationship collapses in on itself. So Locke's just never having a good time, and half the time on the island, he's not even having a good time. Uh, but yeah, and Jin's flashback is another good one, like super serious and ominous. I wonder if maybe they had intended for this guy to show up again. So I feel like the implication is that he was on the plane. Like this guy corners him in the bathroom, and he works for Sun's father, and he knows Korean as well. Well, I guess obviously if he works for Sun's father, I can imagine that would be helpful to know Korean. Uh, and he makes it clear that he's like following Sun and Jin. He knows that they might have plans to run away to America. So I would assume he went on the plane with them. Obviously, he probably died in the crash. But I wonder if that was something that was going to come back up again. Uh, Heck, it could have been interesting if he was amongst the tail section survivors. But it's probably just a one-off thing. And of course, you get like one last flashback, kind of, which is just them boarding the plane and taking their seats. It's a nice, like, thematic montage almost, just of this beginning. But again, the core of the episode, as always, I don't know why I felt necessary to say that. But we have the island stuff. And what we kind of do with these finales, I think like more so the first three and the last one, is that you get like missions. Everybody, for the most part, everybody pairs off on like a little mission, right? You get the Black Rock mission. That's got Jack and Locke and Hurley and Kate, right? And then you get the raft mission. That's Sawyer, Walt, Michael, and Jin. And then you get the Rousseau mission, I suppose you should call it, where Charlie and Saeed are trying to catch up with Rousseau because she's kidnapped Claire's baby, who I guess we get the reveal that his name is Aaron. I mean, it's not really a reveal because it's not like she kept it a secret, but I guess she just thought of it in the moment, or maybe she was kind of thinking about it, or just came to her head. But yeah. Now, they didn't really find anything to do for some characters. I mean, notably, like, some of the supporting females. Claire, Sun, Shannon, they don't really have a part to play in this as much. Shannon doesn't get a chance to participate in a finale because, you know how that goes. I do like they gave Sun something to do in the season 2 finale. Then again in the season 3 finale, she takes more of a back seat. I guess Claire never really has a role in finales, or like honestly like big missions. Besides her very specific mission that she gets in season 2, maternity leave. She usually stays at the camp for goings-ons. But which is understandable for the character, because at first she was pregnant, now she's got a kid. Or a baby. So that's going to be her priority and her focus there. I think I mentioned Sun doesn't really have anything to do. I do feel like there was a chance in this episode to give Sun some type of role, because with like everybody gone on their missions, every potential authority figure is gone out on their various missions. You could have had some instance of Sun stepping up as a leader to the camp, because as Arts reminds us in this episode, there's 30-something other people who may not have names or speaking lines, but they still exist, they're still there. So if you had like some type of moment of Sun stepping up as a leader when all these other people, when every other potential leader is gone, I feel like that might have been a missed opportunity. But I feel like I should have said it earlier on, but it's an incredible episode. Like, it's just a really great 2-part finale. And I think so much of it is built on the cliffhanger. It's a great cliffhanger. I feel like it might be the second best. Second best to the season 5 cliffhanger, maybe? I don't know, it's tough. I'd say season 2. I'll talk about cliffhangers in the future. I got another video for that. But it's a really good cliffhanger. You get the Walt's been captured, the hatch is blown up, and I meant to say the raft is blown up, but the hatch is also blown up. And then they're peering down into the hatch. Don't know what to expect there. But, it's really solid stuff. We get the reveal of the Black Rock. What that is? It's a pirate ship, or I think it's not really a pirate ship. It's a slaver ship, I guess would be the best way to call it, because they were transporting slaves from, I don't know, somewhere to somewhere, a mining colony, according to Locke. Canary Islands, I believe, is where they're leading from, if I remember that specific episode way in the future of Season 6. But, Canary Islands. Does that sound right? I don't know if it's leaving from there. I have to see if they transport Richard Albert from another, like from there to another place before he gets on that boat. But I'm jumping ahead for no reason. Uh, and of course, we get the stuff with Arts, which his scenes is really funny. Like he has really he has really good dialogue and scenes here, where at first he's just kind of like ranting to Hurley, who's just not there for it, doesn't barely giving him the time of day. You know, Hurley's off in his own place, hardly listening. And then he attempts to show them what to do with the dynamite, or I guess he shows them what not to do with the dynamite. But it's always funny too how he's just kind of like bossing them around and telling them to back up and give him his shirt. And you can just see on Jack's face that he's not having that. Of course, Jack doesn't like getting ordered or bossed around. But I guess like in the situation of dynamite, he's like, okay, fine. But, and of course, you get the reveal. I say of course too much. You get the reveal of the others when they arrive to steal Walt. It's a great moment as well when you kind of realize you get that like first little like hint of what might be going on, because Rousseau kidnaps Aaron, and she talks about how she heard the others whispering for saying that they were coming for the boy. And of course we know now that the boy was Walt. I think with what we know about the Whispers, it can make me wonder if perhaps the Whispers were more really warnings instead of what their actual plans were. Was my take on there. We also get, I suppose, our first reveal of the monster. I don't know, like, at the time, I don't know if I realized, like, oh yeah, that's what it is, black smoke. Well, we do see black smoke, right? I don't know what it is. Like, at the time watching it, I don't think, maybe I didn't process that. But that reveal in season 2 with Mr. Echo, like, I always kind of see that as the reveal of the smoke monster. Because obviously it like lingers on him, and you get a good view of the smoke monster and really see it in action. But I suppose this is its reveal. It's a very quick. It's a very quick moment in the episode. I wonder if you could maybe only almost chalk it up to something else when you're first watching it, like that was something else that was like a part of it or something, or just an after effect of the dynamite blowing up in there. I'd have to see. It's something I gotta look to in season 2, how much dynamite Mr. Echo uses, if that's a potential continuity issue, because they should only have 2 extra sticks of dynamite now. Because they used 3 to blow up the hatch and 1 to scare away the monster. So they should only have 2 left over that apparently they just leave by a random tree. They don't seem to take very much care for that dynamite. They just send Hurley off, and Hurley comes back. We get that great reveal of the numbers on the side of the hatch. Like, that's such a cool moment. It's just so cool. I mean, it almost makes you wonder, Boone and Locke staring at this thing for weeks and don't see the numbers printed on it. Maybe they didn't take much note of it, didn't think it was anything significant. If they could have connected that to Rousseau's drawings, Rousseau's writings, maybe Saeed would have, but he didn't see that. He's he's off doing other things too. Also, I'm trying to think if there's anything else really to mention. I like that. I like that Tom is introduced here as well, and he's like a recurring character. You know, he's gonna be the other for a while. You know, when he shows up again in Hunting Party, I believe, because the other three people with him are just like faceless background others that we don't even meet again. And that was a great scene as well. Before the others arrived, you get that beeping and that tense beeping, and you know they don't know what the I don't know why I was. You get that tense beeping, and they're arguing of what to do. And you know they got the flare. They got one flare they're trying to shoot off. They don't know if they should, which it really didn't matter at the end of the day. Like for what we know about everything. We know that they were looking for Walt. We know that the raft wasn't going anywhere. It was just going to circle around the island. This was just a convenient time for them to kidnap Walt. But yeah, so I think after this, I'm going to maybe do a more general talk on season 1. Let's see if I can't like compile my top 5 favorite episodes from the season. I'll probably get that done before I move on to season 2 and Man of Science, Man of Faith, which I believe is also a 2-parter. I don't know if that's a aired 2-parter or a double-length 2-parter. But either way, you know, obviously looking forward to that. I don't know if I got anything else to say about this particular season finale. Again, it's just really a really solid 2-part finale. I mean, you really gotta watch these back to back. I mean, definitely, like, I feel like it's definitely setting the stage for finales. You know, you really putting it out. You really got to put it all out on the line. You have these big missions, life and death. Obviously, you know, big cliffhanger ending. Well, I say life and death. I think only one, well, two. Only really 2 season finales end with some type of character death, if I'm correct. You know, sometimes they're set up with character deaths. You know, for example, when we get to season 2, Ana Lucia and Libby. That's real close to the end there, but that's not actually the finale. It's definitely setting the stage for the finale. But yeah, again, it's a really great finale. All kind of built around an incredible cliffhanger. That kind of it's kind of what Lost got known for. Honestly, is the cliffhanger endings, and besides a couple solid, you know, cliffhanger endings for specific episodes in the middle of the show, in the middle of the season 1, like this is kind of what got the ball rolling with the cliffhangers. And I wonder if there was a if they felt the need to follow that and have more episode cliffhangers that weren't finales in like season 2 and season 3. And I don't count like 4, 5, and 6 because they change a lot. Like the format of the show almost changes after you get to season 3, which it does work out, if I'm being completely honest. But yeah, so that's about it, and I will see you guys next time.